Hello everyone, it's your girl Linda. Welcome to season 2 of my show Champagne Talks. Today we have a lovely lady that's gonna take us to a subject titled Using Your Talent to Create Wealth Online. Please join me. Welcome Miss Jessica.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to the Champagne Talk show.
Thank you, it's been great.
Nice subject.
Yes.
And hopefully I'll gain something there and be rich or wealthy.
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
what we all
wants
should be.
Yeah.
Literally.
So, are you ready for us to?
Yep.
Okay,
Sure.
so we're gonna have a conversation. Well, the first thing I want to ask is, can you explain that a little bit more? What you mean by that?
Yeah, so everybody has their specific talent. So everybody has been blessed with a talent. So for instance, mine can be, my mum's is cooking, my dad's is just, leadership. I'm also leadership and communication. So everybody's been blessed with talents.
Yeah.
So the thing we need to do is bring out those talents, and in the way that we bring out the talents is how we're going to make the wealth online. Meaning that if you have been talented, you're a talented chef, and you know how to cook traditional meals like my mom does. I'm from Ghana, so she knows how to cook the traditional meals. But a lot of girls in the UK like me, I don't really know how to cook like apart from the jollof rice and all of that. I'm talking about the real traditional ones.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that. So I have always been encouraging her to start something online to share her talents, let's say for instance on YouTube, to show the world how to actually do it. So that's what I mean by creating wealth online using your talent. So it may not necessarily look like you set up a coaching program. It could be you could be on YouTube and sharing your talents with the world, and in return you get paid by YouTube. So that's what I mean by sharing your talents.
Okay, quite interesting. Okay. What are some talents you do? I know you mentioned your mom cook and the rest of it. So what are some talents you think one can use to generate, apart from cooking and the rest of what other talent do you think?
Yeah, so even I would say if you have overcome a struggle in your life, that could even be something you could use to generate wealth online. Meaning if you, let's say for instance, have been in debt and you've been able to pay off your debt in 12 months or something, you've made a plan, you've budgeted, you know how to allocate your money, so you've been able to increase your finances or cut your finances down and be able to pay off that debt. That could be a way for you to use that talent of your financial knowledge to influence others online. And the way you can specifically do that is you can be a consultant. You can maybe even just set up a social media page on Instagram and start posting every day, posting tips on how you have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And by doing that, not only will you build an audience, but you get monetized on these platforms anyway. But regardless of being monetized on the platforms, the audience that you bring in, you can always sell whatever you want, a product, a course, a budget planner. There's so many things you can do with that audience that you have built, all from sharing your tips and your talents.
Okay. And then what if, let's say, someone that loves to exercise, or you have a lot of so are you gonna create a platform where you show people those things?
So especially with exercise, so I know everybody does weight loss, but it's not only about weight loss. It could actually be maintaining weight. I find the hardest thing is not losing weight or gaining weight, it's actually maintaining. That's maintain it. And I think that's a part of the industry that nobody has really tapped into it. Personally, I think that is something that we need to all be taught, because we all know how to lose weight. We all know, like, just eat less and exercise more. We all know how to put on weight, just eat more. But nobody really tells us to keep it steady. What do you do apart from maintaining your calories? Because you can do that and still put on weight. So for instance, if you are a coach, an online coach, and you see that a lot of people struggle with maintaining your weight, what you would do is tell them the step-by-steps. Everybody says online, oh, don't give away too much information, because why would anyone pay you? It's the opposite. The more information you give away, the more people want to pay you.
You get audience.
Exactly. So in that sense, what I would do if I was in the position that I was in fitness, I would start posting on, personally, I'm not really a big fan of Instagram these days, so it would be TikTok. I would start posting on TikTok. You don't need to do it every day. Just, it's more powerful to do content that means something than just post for the sake of posting. Meaning, if you have a certain diet and you know that it's a really effective diet, I would share that. It doesn't mean you need to share the same diet every day, but share it over time. And with that, you will see the people start coming in because
Yeah.
you're showing up for your community. With that community, there's so much you can do from it. You can start a course, you can start a membership, which I would recommend memberships because of the recurring revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk more about the importance of having revenue always coming in later. But I would recommend a membership, or even you can do digital products. So if you work a 9 to 5 and you want to make extra money on the side without committing too much time, digital products is a great way to do it. PDF, you can literally go onto Canva and make a guide and sell that. So that's a passive way of making money as well.
Online. Okay, so how do you identify your talent? I know you've mentioned when you were explaining the first question, you mentioned some of them there.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna be talking about more on how can someone identify that talent?
Yeah.
How do you know that you've got it? And then yeah.
So firstly, you need to see what you're passionate about. The reason you want to see what you're passionate about is because I wouldn't say that still is your talent yet, but the first step is to know what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about sports, your talent could fall somewhere in that because there's a reason you're passionate about it.
Yes.
Your heart longs for that.
That's what you like.
Exactly. Your heart longs for it. And not only see what you're passionate about, but see something that if I was not to be paid for doing this, would I still do it? Meaning, if you work a job and you know that if they stop paying you wouldn't go anymore, that's not your talent. That's not
they're just for the payment.
Exactly. Whereas if you were to show up every day and you have a ministry in church and you did not care less if you got paid for it or not, you can see that's something that you're passionate about.
Yes.
Because the money doesn't matter.
It's just a top up.
Exactly.
But,
so to identify your talent is really seeing what you're passionate about to start off with. And a lot of people think that you have to be perfect at your talent when you start, but that's not necessarily true. Me, I hated public speaking, I'll be honest. Now I'm always doing speaking engagement.
Even me as well. I'm a very shy person.
Yeah.
As soon as you say camera rolling,
I'm
done.
That's like me. I hated public speaking. I didn't even know this was something I was good at until somebody said you should be a speaker. I was like, oh, didn't even know that. But then it makes sense because especially in smaller groups, I can talk to everybody in that group. But sometimes when I'm in environments that I don't feel like talking, it's not because I'm just not passionate about it. It's because I just don't feel comfortable in that environment.
Yeah, to talk,
which is what I realized was happening before, which is why I didn't like public speaking. But it's not only seeing if I didn't get paid for this, I would still do it, but it's also you cultivating your talent. Meaning you could have this, let's say your personal training, that's your talent. You could have the basics of it. You could know, okay, this exercise regime works, but you might not know the muscles in the body. You might not know, okay, to get slimmer arms, you need to do this, you need to do this exercise. You might not know that yet, but that's why you have to be passionate, because by being passionate, you'll get to know more about your talent as time goes on.
Oh, good. Yeah. So if you identify your talent and you're sure that's what you want, you're passionate about that talent, you go for it.
Exactly.
Then you start from advertising yourself on social media.
Yeah. And
then one or two people might find it interesting. And then from there, boom.
Exactly. So I'll actually go into the step-by-steps of the social media, because I know that's a thing that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, how do I describe it? Okay, so everybody has, do you know what a niche is?
Yeah.
Everybody has a niche. Everyone's like, oh, I am the niche, but let's be honest, you will fall into a category.
Yes.
Because if you're doing sports, you're not going to fall in the category of music.
Exactly, yeah.
So let's say, for instance, you've identified your niche is now sports on social media. The first thing you should do, which a lot of people don't do, is this is to grow your audience, by the way, is to go and research on that social media platform. All the platforms are different. So whatever platform you want to be posting on, go into the search bar and literally just type in that topic and see what keywords people search for. Meaning, a lot of these algorithms, everyone's like, the algorithm hates me, the algorithm does not hate you. It's just that you're not catering to what the algorithm wants. So you need to actually go onto the social media platform, type in the topic, and then when you type in the topic, it will give you suggestions of what people search for. For instance, I talk a lot about Christianity and wealth. So when I type wealth into the search bar and Christian wealth into the search bar, I would have people searching for Bible verses for business. I would have people searching for declarations for business. I would have people searching for Christian entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the keywords that people search for. And then you need to make your content similar to what has already been done in the past, meaning every piece of content, the way it's structured is a hook, so something to catch the attention of the individual, whatever value you're going to give, and the call to action, which is go to the link in my bio to XYZ or hit follow XYZ. So by doing that, the reason why people say the algorithm doesn't like them is because they don't do this step, which is the research step. So when you research what the algorithm wants, it will be so much easier to grow your audience, like so much easier. So that's how you grow the audience. So you don't copy other people's content, you just look on the platform to see what's working and you do your own version of that.
Similar to what you've seen.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow. So if there's someone like a makeup artist,
yes,
and then you post when you do, have clients, you do makeup, you post it there. So are they supposed to look at what you just said, follow that step as well?
Same thing. So if, let's say for instance, it's bridal makeup they do, they will literally type in on, let's say, Instagram search bar or TikTok search bar, bridal makeup, and see what people are searching for, because it will show you the keywords people are looking for. And you need to cater to what people are looking for, because there's no point making content when no one's looking at it, which is why your views are often low if you haven't done this step, because you need to know what people are looking for. It's like the whole point of business is to solve a problem for someone. So if somebody's looking for a solution for the problem, you need to be able to provide that solution, and that's how they will follow you.
Yeah. Wow. I told you guys I'm going to learn a lot, and I am. I hope you are too. So another question I want us to talk about, how do you stop fear? How can someone stop fear getting into them?
Yeah, sure. So especially, not even when you start posting, even before you start posting,
the fear will be there.
The fear will be there. But the trick is not to let the fear come, and you need to identify what is the fear. So say, for instance, mine was public speaking to start off with. I used to hate going live on Instagram. It used to be my worst, like my biggest fear. But then I had to identify why is it. So the first step is to identify what is the fear, and then what happened? Like, why have I got this fear now? Why am I scared to talk to live audiences, even though it's only me talking on my phone? What is this? Kind of thing. So the first step is you identify what the fear is. Second is, why do I have this fear? And the majority of the time it comes from childhood. So between the ages of 2 to like 8 to 11, that's when our mindset has really developed. So that's when everything around us, we're like little sponges taking in our environment and taking in everything people say to us. I noticed that when I was in primary school, this is where the fear of public speaking came from for me. Was when I was in primary school, I did a presentation. I think it was for, that hedgehog. I don't even remember. Like back in the day, they had that hedgehog that crossed the road or whatever, to teach people how to cross the road. And I remember I had a teacher that didn't make fun of me, but kind of mocked my presentation.
Wow.
Yeah. So then that's when I realized that's where my fear of public speaking came
because
from.
now if you say something, you don't know who is gonna. I get it.
Exactly. So I never realized that is where my fear of public speaking came from, until I looked back in the past and I was thinking, why? This is weird, because I even used to perform in the West End. So I used to be on stages from a young age, and all of a sudden I got scared of performing and scared of speaking on stages and speaking to people. So I was thinking, this must have come from somewhere. This couldn't have just randomly come. So I looked back and realized it was that instance that made me think, oh, maybe I'm not good at public speaking. Maybe I should take a step back and stick to myself, kind of thing. And when you identify what the problem is, once you've identified it, that's when you need to start telling yourself, is that actually true? Are you bad at this? Is it true? Like, even though that teacher mocked you, is this story you've now made up in your head over, let's say, basically 20 years,
and
you still held on to this story? Are you sure that that's still right, kind of thing? So for me, I had to take a step back and try and reprogram that belief that I had that I'm not good at public speaking. So the way I did that was find evidence that that's not true. For instance, like I said, I used to perform in the West End. So I clearly had no problem doing that as a child. So there must have been something that happened. So that was the first proof I found. Secondly, I saw that in university. I used to do presentations in university.
Of course, a lot.
So I said, that can't be true then. So you find the evidence to contradict the belief that you had at that point. So once you've done that, then you just start acting as if the person you want to be. So acting as a public speaker that is comfortable to speak on stages with people, comfortable to speak on Instagram Live and TikTok Lives, and not fear that, oh no, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. You should just ignore all the fear and just keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, who is it that you're doing a disservice to? It's only yourself. When you know that this is what you're meant to be doing, and you know it in your heart, because the cry will be there every single day. You want to be doing this instead of doing that, but you're just scared to do it.
So that's why it's good to encourage people. Like, you know, you don't just say, oh, you didn't get it well, you didn't do it well. There's a way you can say it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's, you know, just make it so that the person wouldn't feel bad. Because this story you just narrated right now, a lot of us has gone through that. And you saying it, I reflect back, I'm like, okay, something. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. So I put one and one together, and you know, we need to encourage people rather than putting them down.
Exactly. It only takes one instance, especially with children. So you need to be very careful what you say to children.
Exactly.
They will hold on to it for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
And they will start making it that identity that, oh, maybe I'm not good at school. And then they'll make it their identity that they're not smart, or they're not smart enough to do this in life. So it's just have to be very careful of what you say, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Fear can do a lot of things. Fear. Even according to Bible, we that, you know, Christians, they should know that fear can rob you of your faith.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like anytime I want to travel and I have that fear, oh, something will happen to the plane, I'm not going again. Because that fear has already set down. And I'll be thinking, oh, if I go there, this thing's gonna happen. The thing will just creep me. I'm like, so I won't go anywhere. I just stay back. Because what you think or believe in might actually happen. That's why we have to be careful what we're saying and what we're believing, the thoughts. The brain goes like...
And what you speak out loud as well.
Exactly. Carries power, you know. So we need to be careful. So I can imagine you going through that.
Yeah. But I didn't realize that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until I got older. I was like, where has this come from? Because this isn't me. And then that's when I identified, oh, that's where it came from. And the fact that I still remember it these years after shows you, especially that's another key to identify your fear. If you still remember it after years, there's something that has done to you. It's changed you in a way.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you were a child, you wouldn't remember it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please, if you're out there, I need to be honest, if you're out there and there's something, maybe fear, you know you can do this, but along the line you cannot do it, you're asking yourself why. Please, you can talk to someone, you know, see whether if there is something that happened in the past that's making you not to be who you want to be, because not everybody have the potential to be who they want to be.
Exactly.
So if you have a passion of something, but along the line you can't see it happening, then talk to somebody. At school, there are people you can talk to. At church, there are people you can talk to. At work, there should be someone you can talk to about it. And and see what happens.
Or even if you have to get a therapist.
Because this show is the audience is for young people. Because I know all these young people out there, they have the potentials, they have what it takes. When I see them on the road, inside me, I call them, oh, this is our president, this is our this is our, you know, because they've got it all. But some of them, a lot of distractions out there. So if you can speak to them, tell them social media is there, you can achieve something there. You can empower people there. It's not just about, you know, so you speak to young people for us.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I would say, even before you go on social media, the first thing is your mindset, because social media can be a very cruel place. It can be very cruel. And you'll notice that the more popular you get with your audience, the more hate from random people come in, because the bigger you get, the more hate that comes in.
Yeah.
So by figuring out how you're going to stay grounded in yourself before you even start posting is going to be a key step for everybody. Meaning, if you see these hate comments, what do? I just block them. I'll be honest. It's just the easiest thing to do. I'm just like, okay, delete, block. It's just the easiest thing to do. There is no need to give power to anyone by arguing back to them.
Yes.
You just go about your day. Like, I remember I was on live and then someone said something about, because I naturally have thin eyebrows when I don't drill them on. So someone said something about my eyebrows. I was like, okay, whatever. Delete, block, bye. Carried on with the live.
Yeah.
Like, it was so,
Very
like, it
simple.
didn't even faze me. You begin to get thick skin on social media as you grow, which is why when those people that want to go viral instantly, I think it's actually better that you get your feeting, like get your ground ready first, so you know you're comfortable with, okay, I have 1,000 followers now. Okay, I've been able to deal with that. But the people that go from literally 1,000 to 100,000 overnight, it will be a shock to their system. So that's another thing. You need to be grateful where you are right now, because you're there for a reason. You haven't grown into the person yet that can handle the 1 million followers. So even if you have 2,000 followers, it's fine. You can still make money online with that amount. I had my first client when I had around 1,000 something followers, and that
on
was
Instagram.
On Instagram, and that was back in 2021. I wouldn't say that is 2021. I had my first client and they paid me 1,500. To me, that was like, wow, I'm going to be a millionaire by next week. That's how I felt. Obviously, that's not how it works, but that's in my mind how I felt. And that was just from being myself. That was from me literally posting on my Instagram stories, just day in the life, saying what my plans are today, what I've been up to. And then a client came from that. And that was when I was talking more on the mindset, in the mindset space, talking about how to actually shift your mindset before I moved to do more business coaching, which over the years I've just transitioned into business coaching. So the first step will always be your mindset. Always get your mindset right, because that is going to be the thing that's going to carry you, because it's irrelevant how much you make if your mindset is not right, which is why a lot of celebrities fall off and they end up doing drugs and stuff, because they're not comfortable in themselves and who they are. They're comfortable in getting the fans and all of that. That's where they get their, what's the word for it? That's where they get their, not credibility, but that's how they feel comfortable.
Relevant.
Yeah. They feel relevant from the fans, not themselves. So be comfortable in your body and by yourself first. The next thing you need to do is then identify what you're going to do. Because if you don't know what you're going to do, it's going to be very hard for you to actually do something. And this is like me. I struggled a lot in the beginning with knowing what to do, because I personally I have so many talents and things that I do, such as I love fitness, I love talking, I love cooking, I love doing so many different things that did not all correlate into one thing. I love travel as well. That's another thing that it's just a lot going on. So you need to, I know it's hard, but you need to pick one thing to start off with. Yeah. You can always come back to the rest. I probably will come back to fitness somehow. I don't know how I'll integrate that with like what I'm doing, but I probably will one day. But just pick one, because it's so stressful trying to
all of them
do everything at once, and your focus will not be going to it, so you'll be very hard to grow what you're doing. Yes. So pick one thing you want to do. After you've picked that thing, then go and identify who your ideal client is. Meaning, for me, my ideal client is basically my past self. Is usually the female around 25 years old that feels that their 9-to-5 job is not for them, and they know that they're meant for more. That's my personal ideal client. So identify who that is for you. The way you do that is it's usually people's past selves, because they've overcome a transformation or they've overcome something. Is usually your past self. If not, and it's completely different, then you may actually struggle, because you don't really know who they are. Yeah. So my ideal client, you need to know their age, you need to know their gender, their demographic. The reason you need to know all of this is because when you're talking to someone on social media, although you feel like you're talking to everyone, you need to be talking to one person. So every time that I make content, I pretend I'm on a FaceTime call with that ideal client, meaning I pretend I'm talking to my old self when I do videos. The reason you want to do this is because when you're talking to one person, the message hits differently, completely differently to if you're trying to cater to everybody else. Yeah. So once you identify your ideal client, which is age, gender, demographic, their interests, and what their pain points are. Pain points meaning, okay, what did I overcome in the past? I overcame hating my 9-to-5, hating that I have to wake up every day, go into this job that I don't really like. I don't feel passionate about it. I don't feel like this is my purpose. So that's the pain that they're going through right now, getting on the train every day in a packed central line. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So being very specific about what is that pain they're going through, and then being specific about what is it that they actually want. They want the freedom to travel on their own terms. They want the freedom to wake up knowing that, oh, I don't have to go to a job I hate. They want the freedom to know that, oh, if somebody passed away in my family, I don't need to go to my boss to ask for time off. Instead, I can just, because that is something that happened to me as well. And I was like, this shouldn't be life. Like, it should not be life. So that's the thing that they want. They want the financial freedom. They want the security. And
I think everybody wants financial freedom.
And that's what you speak to. So you know where they are now and where they want to go. So that is the transformation that you want to, whatever it is you're selling, that's what you need to portray. So even if it's makeup you're selling, so I'm personally a coach, but if it's makeup you're selling, you're not actually selling makeup, you're selling confidence. You're selling being desirable. Let's say, for instance, you're looking for a husband, you're actually selling feeling confident enough to find your husband. You're not selling just foundation or lipsticks, you know what I mean? You need to go deeper than that into what they want and what their pain currently is. Or if they have skincare issues, maybe you're selling something that helps them get over that skincare issue. So that's what you need to talk to. So the third step is ideal client. So first, mindset. Second is identify what you want to do. Third is who is your ideal client. Once you know all of that, then you go onto the social media, and that's when we talked about that research. So you go onto social media and research. Now you know their pain points. You can literally type that in on the search bars. So say, for instance, is your pain point is you're single and you want to find a husband. Literally type in tips to find a husband or something like that along those lines. Who knows? That could literally be what you type in. Or if somebody has skincare issues like me, I don't like my dark underarm.
What about typing to look for a wife?
Yeah, looking for a wife. How to be a wife? Do you know what I mean? That's what you would type in on the search bar. So me, I don't like my dark underarms. So I type in how to get rid of dark underarms. You know what I mean? You need to get in the mind. That's why you need to know the ideal client first, because you need to know what is it that they're searching for. Because if you don't know what they're searching for, it's going to be very hard to make content to actually go and cater to them. So that's why the third step has to be, who are you talking to? And then after you know who you're talking to and you searched, that's when you start making your content. So you know, because you've overcome this struggle, whatever it was, you know what the steps are. But you firstly need to see how it's worded, because the language you should use on social media should be very simple. It should be like you're talking to a 7-year-old, because you may have industry knowledge, but don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, don't put it too much.
Just keep it simple. Like, even if you're a doctor and you know that all these technical terms, just don't do it. Just keep it in words that most people will understand. So that's what you need to do, and that's why the research is so important. To see the words people are using, to see the words that resonate with the audience, because your audience is out there with a competitor. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And to be fair, I don't really believe in competitors, but you know what I mean. I think there's enough space for everyone in.
But still,
but your audience is out there, but you just need to know how to speak to them. So the reason you don't want to procrastinate and just start is because as soon as you put it out, that's when you're going to get the data back. So what is important is getting the data, meaning if I'm now posting on Instagram and I only have 50 views on my video, you need to go into the analytics and see, why is it that I only have 50 views? And the analytics will tell you a story. So for instance, if it says that your not watch time, that's TikTok. If it tells you that your retention rate is basically, they only stay for 5 seconds of the video and your video is 20 seconds long, well, that tells you that you're not engaging enough because people are dropping off. So that means you needed better hook. So you need a way to actually hook the people in so they stay and watch. And not only stay at the hook, but also your follow-up statement to the hook. Meaning you said a bold statement like, this is what everyone's lying to you about. So then now you've got their attention. And then the next statement you say is something to also keep them engaged throughout the video, which is why it's so important to look at the analytics and so important to just start posting so you can see how to improve. You'll also see your engagement rate. If you are posting all the time and nobody is commenting, no one is liking, clearly that means that something's wrong. So you only know that when you start doing it. And that's something that is wrong usually with engagement, is you're just not providing enough value. So going back to what I said about people say, oh, don't give all your information because people won't pay you. That's not true. So if your engagement is low, it's because you're not giving enough value. It's because the people that you're trying to talk to, is not, whatever you're saying is not resonating with them. So you need to figure out, how do I now change that? So content creation is basically putting something out there, seeing how can it be improved, and then just doing that. If you put something out and you realize, oh my gosh, this has given me like 1 million views. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Carry on doing exactly the same thing that you have done.
That means,
because
you're
it
on the right
works.
track.
Because it works. So that's an issue that a lot of people have as well, is they try and reinvent the wheel. Just don't. Just do what you know works. Just do what you know works. Yeah, so that's what I would say the next step will be, is to actually just start doing the content. And I guess the next step is really to review it. So every week I always review my content. I review all my sales pages, meaning for my programs. And like, for instance, I was just saying behind the scenes about how I'm doing an event in a few weeks. I would see what is the conversion rate, how many people have bought tickets, why is it that people are not buying tickets? Because being in business is literally figuring out how to fix whatever's going wrong. Nobody knows the answer, let's be honest. They could tell you they know the answer, but they do not know the answer. So what you need to do is be like a scientist. Like, you're experimenting, you're always experimenting, trying to figure out, okay, does this little potion work here? Does this concoction work here? Because that's what scientists do. They just mix stuff together and see if it works. So you in your business need to just mix things together and see if that works as well. So the stage that I think is even the most important, apart from mindset, is reviewing your data, reviewing, is this working, reviewing, how can I improve? And by doing that every single week, you will see in a year's time, you will literally be like, wow, like, I can't believe I only started this a year ago.
Wow. Okay, so we'll take it from one step at a time. The first one was mindset.
Yes.
And the second one?
Decide
identify.
What to do. Yeah, identify what to do.
Okay, and then the third one
is ideal client.
And then the fourth one,
just start. And then the fifth is just review what you're doing and improve.
So the fourth one is just start.
Yeah.
What about the research? So
the research will be part of the starting. So you would research before you actually go and
into it.
Before you post, you will research it. So start by researching it, then
before you post. Okay, that's nice. Well, you've had her. Please do that. Follow the step very well. Me, I'm gonna follow the same step as well. So not just you. I'm learning as well. So that's just it. We're finishing for today. Yes. Thank you. Nice one. So on this show, we have this little game that we do. And then what this game is all about, we help you figure out where you can go on holiday. There's so many names out there. At times you don't even know which one. Apart from the one with, US, So there's so much country there that probably you've not even had the name before.
Yeah.
So what you will do is you spin it as hard as you can. And then when you stop, any country that you have the contact with. You tell us what that name is. So you do it 3 times, and I will do as well. So so you keep them on your list of your holidays.
Kazakhstan.
What?
It says Kazakhstan.
You see what I mean? I've never. Where is that?
Where is this?
Is it a country?
It's like, I don't even know what area of the world this is. Is it Middle East?
You see what I'm saying? I've never had that before. I'm sorry, you guys. I've not.
I think it's Middle East because it says here. There's Uzbekistan near it.
Okay, Pakistan. Okay, yeah. So you're going that side. Okay, good luck. Another one. Come on, this thing.
Is that United States? No, it can't be. Yeah, it is.
United
States.
Okay.
But it says Charlotte.
Okay, at least we know about that. You see, at least that one we hear about that one all the time.
The last one is.
Come on, take her to Africa, please.
It's the UK. But Ireland is here as well, so maybe I need to do a staycation.
All right, so they don't want you to go far. They want you to stay home, stay here with us. Staycation. San Francisco, where is that? That's
America.
The same thing. I'm telling you, America is so huge. There's so many. What's that? South America, Brazil. So I have South America. I've got Brazil. So I'm gonna choose Brazil because I love Brazil. Sorry, I like US as well, but I stick with Brazil. I love me some Brazil, honestly. Okay, Indian Ocean, but I don't know what is. Oh God, it's going towards you. Is there anything you see around the Indian Ocean?
Maldives.
Yeah, that's a rich place. Okay.
Above in the Indian.
Yeah, I wanna listen. I need to close my eyes and be there already.
Yeah. Maltesers, nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I love that little
Huts, those
Oh
huts,
my
yeah,
God.
that'll be nice.
Oh my God, that was nice. I love this part. Apart from the conversation that is nice, but obviously this is champagne talk shows. We can't finish it without toasting or popping champagne. We have to cheers with champagne. So thank you for coming to share this wonderful subject topic with us. And hopefully we'll see you sometime soon.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jessica. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching us. We've come to the end of the conversation for today. I hope you will get something out of it. And please don't forget, share, like, subscribe. And I will see you guys sometime very soon. Bye.